for either of them. So Artosis might start with a Hunter, and I guess Karlis either starts with a Hunter too, or his Warlock.
And I'm kind of surprised that we don't see a rogue in there of neither of the players. But yeah, let's just jump right into the game, and we have the good old Artosis playing the Warlock, and Karlis goes for his Druid.
And the funny thing is, it's not a Zoolock, it's a Handlock, and we haven't, well, in week 2, week 1, we had thousands of Zoolocks, and now, since, well, week 3, we're starting with a Handlock.
Yeah, handlocks are getting more and more popular, obviously. And we see Artosis has a really, really nice hand.
Artosis has good hand, 2 Twilight Drakes, and already his Mountain Giant, so we will see a lot of life taps from him just incoming. But for Karlis, I mean, double Yeti and a swipe, he can kill one Giant when it comes. He just needs, well, I would say a silence now. Innervating his Yeti out is like a must almost. He needs to get 2 Yetis out and then the swipe to get rid of that Mountain Giant. The most annoying thing, Artosis has 2 Twilight Drakes also.
Yeah, and he can definitely make use of it. I would expect him to play the first Twilight Drake almost immediately.
Would you coin Twilight Drake out if you have 2 Twilight Drakes and a Mountain Giant, or just wait for turn 4 to drop your Mountain Giant?
I would most likely just wait until turn 4 and drop the Mountain Giant, because yeah, Druid has problems to get rid of them. Well,
He
but yeah, he decides to play against it. He wants just the Twilight Drake. But as we know, Karlis has the option to clear it.
He has a big game hunter, which you have to play at least once in your deck. He could clear it with a swipe, and his Yeti would even survive, but you open the door for Mortal Coil. So if you think about this play now, there could be the potential of a Mortal Coil killing your Yeti and giving your enemy a card draw. You kind of want to wait for your silence. Druid has 2 Keeper of the Grove, so you can silence the minion and kill it. And he's not going for it, he's just rushing the vase. One thing you can do absolutely as a Druid against Handlock, you kind of rush his face before he's able to taunt up big style. I mean, he could just go with double Yeti next turn, in total deal 12 damage if he wants to.
Yeah, but you don't want to do that against Handlock, because you know there is this potential of the Molten Giant, so I wouldn't expect him to go for that play. Now, there is the option to go for the Druid ability in combination with Raz to just get rid of one of the Twilight Drakes, because he doesn't want to take the risk of those getting taunted up.
They will get taunted up most likely next turn. I mean, we see in his hand already the Sunfury Protector. It's going to be super annoying. He swipes here to trade. I think it's okay if there's a Mortal Coil coming, you just lose one of your Yetis, and, well, he needs a Defend of Argus to get your another Yeti killed.
Yeah, that Tosus has a really, really nice hand. If you look at it, yeah, he has all his giants already. 2 Molten Giants. And the Sunfury Protector. But would you... he's short 1 mana. He's 1 mana short, because he could play the Molten Giant and then the Sunfury Protector if he was on 6 mana, but unfortunately he isn't.
Well, he can just drop his Mountain Giant if he wants to. He should absolutely kill one of the Yetis. He can kill both too, and even his minion, well, it dies too, and he can drop 1 Mountain Giant, so that's more or less the optimum play, since next turn he can just go Molten Giant Sunfury, as we said. And if there's no big game hunter Black Knight for Karlis, and
a really nice draw.
As we see, there's a big game hunter, but there's no Black Knight, though there will be another giant incoming next turn.
Yeah, but he gets the Wild Growth, so on his next turn he will be able to play this Ragnaros.
He can play Ragnaros, but you kind of need to go extremely lucky if he plays a Molten Giant against you, and you drop a Ragnaros, and you're like, oh, please, gods, hit that giant and I win. In Artosis, well, if I were Artosis, you can just drop your Molten Giant, armor it up. Nothing else to do here, actually. You kind of need to taunt it up. I was thinking maybe don't taunt it up.
Life taps, then there is no cost left.
Yeah, sure, but I would even drop 2 Sunfury Protectors now to just go super safe.
You want 2 taunts?
Yeah, just taunt a lot of stuff up. So if there's a Black Knight coming, he could deal 4 damage to your face, even 5 with his hero ability, and you would be down to 4 and open to another swipe. That's what I'm thinking about.
It's true, and it looks like he will go for the risky play with Ragnaros.
But if it hits, then, well, it hurts a lot.
Oh,
For
down
the
to
face.
1 HP.
But we've seen Artosis, and there's Leroy, power overwhelming, though he can deal if he wants 18, only 20 damage. That's, well, not enough.
It's close to lethal, though.
He kind of needs to kill Ragnaros. He cannot risk that minion actually going for his face again. And there's a Sunwalker now for Artosis. So, a Sunwalker in handlock. Haven't seen that.
Yeah, that's pretty new. But against the Druid, it's really, really nice. He needs to play the silence. We know he doesn't have a silence right now. He didn't draw a single Keeper of the Grove. But when he draws a Keeper or even a swipe, the game is immediately over because the Karlis is because Artosis is already down to 1 HP.
Absolutely. He needs to kill Ragnaros, maybe with his Molten Giant, and he needs to kill the big game hunter because, as you said, there's a silence coming, and he silences away the taunt. He can just go for the face. He can do it anyway. It's now, and he decides to...
Oh, that's rather risky.
The good thing is, it's just end of turn Ragnaros, so even if there's a silence incoming... Wow, the Black Knight. Jeez, perfect for Karlis here.
That's absolutely perfect. Like, I'm pretty convinced he's gonna Black Knight the Sun Fury. The Sunwalker, not Sun Fury. The Sunwalker, and then whatever happens, he's in a perfect spot.
He can also just draw a card, just to get one more card, break the shield of the Sunwalker, and Black Knight the 8/8. It doesn't matter at all who he Black Knights. If he hit the face, he wins, and if he hit the minion, well, there's a Black Knight 4/5 on the face to... He can win with his hero ability. That's just the point here.
Yeah, and will he get the kill? Well, he kills the Sunwalker. So one more turn at least for Artosis. He has the Leroy Power Overwhelming combo, which is 10 damage.
Yeah, but he Shadow Flame, he needed that earlier to go. Leroy, we will just start the game and see what's going on.
And we see Artosis picked his Control Warrior, which makes a lot of sense against the Druid.
Makes a lot of sense. If you draw rather good, the Ramp Druid is strong if he gets all his stuff out early, like White Growth, and then only big minions, and the Warrior is not able to get off his armor he needs to fight against those big minions. And well, Artosis starts with a pretty crappy hand. Is Karlis' hand better? Well, not so good. What are you going to do now with 2 Fury War Axes and a Ragnaros? Just armor up for the next 4 turns.
It's really, really nasty for him right now. Of course, he didn't want to draw Ragnaros. It's a dead card until turn 8, and he already started as player 1. Like he has the first turn, so he gets 1 card less. Obviously, he just drops the War Axe just to be able to clear the small minions. But as we know in a Ramp Druid, there aren't that many.
The most annoying thing is you might have an execute now in your starting hand, but if you execute a turn 5 minion, there will be incoming a turn 7 minion. There are 2 Ancient of Lores, there are 2 Druid of the Claws, there are 1 or 2 Sunwalkers, there's maybe Scenarios, Ragnaros, Izera. The Control Warrior has the most potential to remove big minions, but even the Control Warrior runs into trouble against so many big minions a Ramp Druid can put out.
That's most definitely true. And yeah, Karlis is considering of playing his Druid of the Claw right now because he wants to get going early.
He could coin it out, could taunt it up maybe. I mean, 4 mana only for Artosis, though there's no Black Knight danger. There could be that execute play, but well, first execute gone as we said, and we already see Sunwalker Ancient of Lore. So if he executes that Druid of the Claw, it's not so terrible for Karlis at all.
I think Karlis would be really happy if there's an execute incoming, because as you already mentioned, the real threat of a Ramp Druid lies in the late game.
Absolutely, there's Izera incoming, Ragnaros. We saw scenarios in there. We saw Alexstrasza, so they're big minions, they're taunty minions. There's the Ancient of War, so there are like around 10 big minions, 12 big minions, and that's what making the Ramp Druid so strong. He's going for the execute. Works for him, armors up. That's what he needs to do. He wants to get Acolyte of Pain and the Whirlwind out soon too. The one good thing now is there's no turn 5 play for Karlis actually.
No, he can't do anything. Just use his Druid ability and attack. But next turn we're gonna have the Sunwalker, and then it really starts going with the Ancient of the Law on turn 7. And yeah, right now Artosis doesn't really have the means to clear the board.
Oh, it's pretty good what he got here now. Acolyte of Pain plus Cruel Taskmaster, that's what you want to do. Sometimes it's even okay to slam your own minion. Now I would absolutely... Well, I would have Taskmaster my minion just to go the safe road. If your enemy has the silence, you just lost your opinion. Yeah, Keeper of the Grove, that's what I'm saying. If he goes for the silence now, if he really wants to do it, he just denies you every card draw. And if he just goes for the swipe, which is really unlikely, he just gives you one card. But if you Taskmaster early on, he would have gotten that one card more.
Would you go for the silence now? I mean, we see that Artosis only has 5 cards left on his hand. But the silence is really... I mean, the Keeper of the Grove doesn't only have the silence, he also has the 2 damage potential. So you can, for example, if Artosis starts to play a Ganon, you never know if he plays the more like anti-rush version or not. If he has a Ganon, you can use a Vrest and Keeper of the Grove combo just to kill him off the board immediately.
But you have 2 Mark of the Wilds, so you can buff everything up to 7, Big Game Hunter it. You can, in general, Big Game Hunter everything. You got your Ancient of Lore to draw more options. So silencing here just gives you an advantage you really want to have. I mean, he can slam now, trade, so he can absolutely kill the Keeper, but he just lost his card draw potential he had, and now he may be able to play second Acolyte of Pain, but the first Acolyte of Pain really didn't give him any value.
No, he only forced the silence, which is okay, but he really wanted the card draw, obviously. Yeah, now he's further gonna armor up, equip his X, which makes a lot of sense. He needs to stack up his armor to make use of his shield slam that he has on his hand, but the problem is he really needs a shield block.
There's a second Keeper of the Grove incoming, so Karlis has some pretty crazy draws here, so even with the second... And a Black Knight. Well, Black Knight... rather useless in this matchup, only if Artosis is playing Testingos, which I don't think. His version is going to be full control-y.
But he still has 1 Mark of the Wild, so the Black Knight is not that useless. He can combo that up, so he just taunts an enemy of Artosis up, and then Black Knights it away.
Absolutely, that's the number 1 combo you want to do. I just wanted to stay out. Useless in terms of taunt minions in general, but as you say, the combo is the 1 combo you want to do, and really lucky here for Artosis drawing that shield block. He could shield block, shield slam, get rid of the turn 7 minion, but as we see, there are already 2 Sunwalkers in Karlis' hand, and well, we only have a Ragnaros, Cruel Taskmaster, Acolyte of Pain, though that's not a lot for Artosis. He's getting into some kind of trouble at the moment.
He most definitely is. Does he have the means to clear him? Yes, he could clear him, but would take 4 damage. I think he will most likely go for Acolyte, Whirlwind, Slam, and then trade with the Fury War X.
The annoying thing, it costs you really a lot to get rid of that minion. I mean, you draw a card for every card you use. That's okay. But still, you used a lot of your stuff to get rid of it, and there's just another Sunwalker incoming, for example, or an Ancient of War, so that's pretty crazy. I mean, 1 execute for Artosis in his hand, but only 1, and there's Black Knight, Ancient of War, Sunwalker, so already 3 minions being extremely annoying.
I would go for the Sunwalker right now, to be honest, because I know he doesn't have a Black Knight so far, because he would have played it otherwise. No way he would use that many cards. So just put the Sunwalker out and keep your Ancient. Just make him waste more and more cards.
You want to bait the execute with the Sunwalker. So next turn he's going to play the Ancient Watcher, Ancient of War, and there's no execute left. Yep. That's the plan Karlis could be having. The good thing is he also has his, well, his Black Knight, Marcus the White combo still, and he has a big Game Hunter. So for Karlis, the game is just, does he want to bait out something here? But in theory, it doesn't even matter, since if the Ancient of War dies, he still has his Sunwalker, and it's still going to be super annoying. So Artosis will need another Execute, Shield Slam, or even his Gorehowl.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced that we will see the Execute this turn. Acolyte of Pain, he's gonna run him in for sure, because he wants the card draw. But
Nice!
before, and he's gonna use the
For
Faceless.
Artosis here, just gets a Faceless Manipulator, can copy that minion. It can get silenced, or
Black
Big Game
Knighted.
Huntered. Yeah, or Black Knight, like Big Game Hunter, Black Knighted, whatever. But still, extremely nice draw in Artosis' eyes. I mean, there will be some tears in his eyes next turn if he sees a Black Knight or Big Game Hunter if he combos it up.
Yeah, that's the most obvious play, I think, in the Black Knight.
He could also silence it if he doesn't want to waste his Black Knight on a 5/10 minion. He can bring down to a 5/5 and then swipe kill. So that's what he could do, since it's just a 5/5 minion if he silences it.
I think I would go for the Black Knight, to be honest. I mean, he still has the what big minions are coming for the Control Warrior. Let's be honest here. Ragnaros, Alexstrasza, Geddon.
You can also swipe
Chromash.
clear Geddon.
Yes, I mean, you can swipe clear Geddon. You would take more damage, that's for sure. But the thing is, he still has a big Game Hunter, so he doesn't need to save his Black Knight now.
The annoying thing about having played your Black Knight, he can clear it now with Geddon and Armor Up, so that's really good for Artosis here. I mean, Big Game Hunter just waiting to be played, so optimal for Artosis it isn't really, since Big Game Hunter and Druid of the Claw incoming, or Big Game Hunter and Sunwalker incoming. It looks rather rough here for Artosis.
I would expect Big Game Hunter and the Sunwalker, just so he has 2 minions out, and even if we see an Alexstrasza or an Ragnaros, he still has double swipe or even swipe Druid of the Claw to deal with it.
But that's exactly why I would have kept my Black Knight. So
For the combo?
Because you cannot silence Ragnaros and kill him, but you could have silenced the 5/5 tree and killed him with 2 cards. Your Druid of the Claw would have died against Geddon too, but just the one thing is, you cannot kill Ragnaros like that. You can Big Game Hunter it, but you cannot kill Grommash 2 like that. So the only minion you could silence and swipe was that 5/5 tree, or like a Geddon. You can swipe kill him now and he will do it. You don't want to waste your Big Game Hunter here. Karlis is doing a good job clearing the board, and he still has a healing touch in his hand.
Now we'll see in Azure Drake. I would think he needs to play the Azure Drake. First of all, he gets the spell power, but he goes for Ragnarok. Okay, that makes... I think that's a more risky play to play it now. What do you think?
I wouldn't have played it, since there's no option to clear it for himself. If your enemy is running a Faceless Manipulator, for example, the Big Game Hunter Faceless Manipulator combo, we saw one Faceless, but there are 2 in some Ramp Druids. So let's be honest, if there's a Faceless coming, you don't have anything to clear it.
I think it was really sloppy play from Artosis, because he knew that there was still the potential of the Big Game Hunter, and we saw Karlis even runs 2 Big Game Hunters, so this deck is designed to destroy Control Warriors.
Absolutely. 2 Big Game Hunters is rather unusual, but good for Artosis here. With the Gorehowl and his Taskmaster, he can clear the complete board. The only problem, he gets 4 cards in it, like 3 cards left, potential 4 with the Azure Drake, so he's gonna draw up to 4, he can draw another card. That's okay, but Ancient of Lore incoming just for Karlis. He can draw 2 additional cards, he can heal himself up by 8. I guess Karlis is safer here than Artosis at the moment.
Yeah, he is super safe right now. Would you go for the card draw, or rather Druid of the Claw, use your hero ability and heal yourself up? I mean, I think he should be okay staying around that HP level, because Well, does he have? Would he have lethal next round? Yeah, if he plays Gromash next round, he's dead. So he needs to have a taunt or heal himself up.
Taunt, heal himself up, or use his hero ability at least once. That's these things he can do now here, like draw 2 cards, heal him up by 8. He could just play his Keeper of the Grove, kill the minion, taunt up 2. So I prefer getting rid of the 2/2. You don't want to give him additional damage on the board. It's kind of tricky here. The good thing, or well, the thing is, you're not going to use your Keeper of the Grove for anything else than dealing those 2 damage. So you could have just used it, and he gets a White Growth and a Raz.
And he armors it up.
Now that's a good play. 7/7, as you said. He needs a taunt, and with alone with his axe, he cannot kill it. So he would need to run his minion in
Or
at the moment.
Taskmaster. But he wants to keep his Taskmaster for the Gromash burst combo of 12 damage.
And there's Alexstrasza, Krukon, and Taskmaster in his hand. Cleave he cannot use. He could just run his 2 minions in, attack, kill it, armor up, keep his Krukon, or just play his Krukon. I wouldn't. There's no difference in keeping or playing. He brings him down to 14 with his axe now and Gromash. Even with the armor up, he would absolutely demolish Karlis. And Karlis, well, he has a Taunter, he has Ragnaros, he has another swipe, so he could swipe and Keeper of the Grove now.
Or swipe on Wrath to keep the Keeper. I think he has to heal himself up no matter what. Because, yeah, I can understand that he doesn't want to heal up because there's always the potential of Alexstrasza and the heal would be completely negated. But he cannot stay on 14 HP. I mean, the Hell Scream deals 12 damage together with the Taskmaster. And then we have still the weapon that also is on 5 damage, if I'm not mistaken. So that's 17 damage alone. He needs to heal himself up.
He needs to heal himself up or play a Taunter, but if he plays a Taunter, he still needs to clear the board. And that's the main problem here. As you said, maybe swipe, Raz, heal. That's safer than just going for the Keeper. And I guess he will do it since, yeah, that's his only option to survive. Even Artosis doesn't even have a Gromash.
No, but when you are in a game with such players, everyone knows the potential. Everyone knows the deck he's up against, and they know that they could just die even though they have an advantage right now.
And there's Alexstrasza on the board, but for Karlis, it doesn't even matter since he's really playing those 2 big game hunters. And I guess Artosis didn't count with it. I mean, you can count with 1 big game hunter. That's okay. You're counting 1 legendary off all your legendaries you need to win. But then there's a second big game hunter. He just lost his Alexstrasza, where he thought that minion is gonna stay alive. Absolutely.
Yeah. He was pretty convinced because the Black Knight was off the field. There was no potential of the Black Knight combo. Both Marks of the Wild were played. The first big game hunter was out, so there is no real way apart from a big game hunter to clear that Alex that fast.
But now with the Azure Drake, he has a pretty nice hand. He can go for a 3 damage cleave. He could also just armor up and do a 3 damage shield slam, since shield slam is profiting from the spell damage too. If you ask yourself why I'm talking about 3 damage shield slam, he gets 2 armor plus 1 spell damage on the slam damage.
I think I would keep the shield slam and attack. Yeah.
It's okay to keep it since there's 1 more shield block in his deck. He can instantly go up to 9 at the moment. That's the one reason why you want to keep it. He could have kept his attack too if he doesn't want to drop low, since there are Ramp Druid versions which run a Force of Nature and Roar. I saw those versions. You would drop down to 1 HP. It could be really devastating. But we know Karlis needs to care for his HP again. There's 4 damage for Artosis plus 4 damage from the weapon. And if there is Gromash incoming, that would be 20 damage.
He still has a Wild Growth, so I think he will most likely go for the Wild Growth. He wants to clear the board, but he needs options. So Wild Growth, draw another card, because when you are at 10 mana and play the card, you cannot gain a mana crystal, obviously. So you get you can just draw another card.
If he draws that card, he needs to kill the Azure Drake, and the only option of killing it without taking any damage is going for 2 damage Moonfire Raz using your hero ability. And the good thing, if he does this, he goes up to 17, and Weapon plus Grimash only deals 16 damage now.
Grimash Taskmaster.
Grimash Taskmaster Weapon, that's only 16 damage. He would survive with 1 HP at the moment.
And then he could potentially Alex himself up. But yeah, it's... Actually, Artosis turned the game somehow. Because right now Karlis is so afraid of this combo we're talking about, the Grimash Taskmaster, that he cannot play offensive, and he's using a lot of cards, and we see the card advantage that Karlis once had is decreasing and decreasing, and actually Artosis is in the lead right now.
Is in the lead card-wise right now, is playing his Black Knight just to get one more minion out in those 4 damage. Well, and Karlis gets his Ancient of War, and this is gonna hurt so much. I exactly know why Artosis played his Black Knight.
Yeah.
And that hurts a lot. He just wanted to get out a minion to have it on the board. But yeah, that move might have lost him the game here.
That was brutal. That was really, really brutal. And now he gets the Grimash. I think there are no other options for him than just play the Grimash, Taskmaster him up and attack. He could also play Grimash and trade with the Black Knight, Grimash and his weapon, but he would take a lot of damage.
He will play most likely his Taskmaster on the Ancient of War and Big Game Hunter him, for example.
That's also an option.
That would get rid of the tree, and he could deal 4 damage to the face. Next turn, there's the possibility of shield slamming your own Grimash. So that's possible thing to do.
I think that would have been the best play.
Well, he can trade like this, but he loses everything.
Oh, please don't.
Oh, he just sees the win here, which is not wrong. There's Ragnaros, Innervate, Yeti incoming, possible for Karlis. And if that Ragnaros hits the 4-2, Karlis wins here, since Artosis' play is Grimash, Taskmaster, GG, if he makes it actually. But if there is...
No. If he gets hit. Like, if Karlis uses his Ragnaros, and if the Ragnaros hits Artosis, Artosis wins. If it hits the Big Game Hunter, he doesn't win.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Ah,
if it hits the Big Game Hunter...
Then there was a misunderstanding. Okay. Oh, damn, he won. No, he didn't.
No,
he's 1 damage short.
There's 4 plus 2, that's 6, that's only 18 damage. That's quite not enough to get rid of Ragnaros. And Artosis 2 times didn't have the patience here it needed to win the game. He dropped his Black Knight too early. And whoa, he dropped his Big Game Hunter too early too. Now he's sitting here on, whoa, 6 HP, 8 HP incoming, 2 minions on the board. I see him dead next turn by just getting hit by Ragnaros. And Karlis would win with Ragnaros again. And it's like Karlis Ragnaros is really a rampage mode minion.
It's value Ross.
He brings him down to 15. He could win next turn with his combo. But there's Alexstrasza, there's 2 Yetis, and Ragnaros just needs to hit the face to win. That's a 33% chance, 1 out of 3. That wouldn't even be lucky. That would just be 1 out of 3. That's like a coin flip with a 3-sided coin.
It's a coin flip with a 3-sided coin, guys. Yeah, double chill and Yeti, no surprise. Probably gonna shapeshift. Take a cup.
Artosis is looking really grim for him. End of turn, hit phase, win for Karlis here 2 times.